Okay, there we go. So, thanks everybody for getting on the call. I'm Vince Mazo with Listings to Leads, and we're going to talk about how to roll out listings to leads. It is an online marketing system. It is terrific for marketing your listings, for generating leads, for generating referrals. And then there's a whole suite of tools designed for people who maybe have a few listings or don't have any listings. So it's ways to generate those as well. Um, I think I've got us logged in, and I actually have a little uh, kind of a fake account for Dawn, and so we're gonna spend our time working on that a little bit. So when you log in, I sent Dawn the ID and passwords for all agents yesterday, so you can share those, and you can have basically everybody logs in and they see an agent desktop button at the top. So one other thing that I sent uh, Dawn is an email that looks like this, and we're going to kind of talk to this email. You'll find, and I think many agents do find, that there are a lot of tools inside listings to leads, and one of those things, which I think happens for many companies, but I know from my experience it happens with us, is people get overwhelmed. They're like, wow, what am I supposed to do? And so what I want you to recognize is that we're going to send you this email, and this really is a good cheat sheet for the basics. I'm going to just point out what's on it. There's an overall get started, and that really is going to cover what we're going to cover here in just a few minutes. It's kind of a lot of the basics and how to use some of the core tools to market your listings. Then the next call is a Facebook lead generation call, and if you don't know this, and I know from speaking to Dawn that she does, Facebook is a really important part of real estate marketing right now. And the world has changed from having a great website and having everybody find you on that website. Now everybody realizes, let's push high powerful tools in front of people where they are. And that is places like Facebook and even places like Craigslist and things like that. So we will talk about that on another call, but there is a link right here that dives into it very, very concretely. Then there's our mastermind group where we share a lot of information and our clients share a lot of information. And what we're going to talk about is right here for your new listings. And there's really only a couple things. I'm going to read through them. Choose the right lead gen links to your website. Share your single property website to Facebook and Pinterest, Google, and others if you want. Put your branded virtual tour in KWLS and get your auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client. Call them to make sure that they found those. So that's really the purpose of this call, is for you to understand how to get this stuff done, and that's it. Okay, so here is a bunch of information. I will kind of go over it. Getting started, people can look at this. It has to do with you're branded to the account. What do you want to do? Facebook advertising is a lot more in depth on the link that I just explained to you, is in the email. There's a whole open house lead generation platform. There's like a handful of tools. I will show you how to set up an open house today. And then there's a listing presentation, and I think I sent Dawn a listing presentation with your office logo already. There's a link to join the mastermind group, a lot of online tutorials right here. Okay, so the first thing about what you need to get involved with as soon as you get your ID and password is click the profile page and find out if everything here is good. Right. So here's the name. If there's a team name, you can put that team name here and check that box, and that will be the name that is used everywhere. We create a user ID and a password. If the agent wants to change their password, they can change right here and save it at the bottom. But here I've got Dawn's email, and this is something that will occur, and I'm going to kind of do an imaginary story right now. I'm going to imagine that I am Dawn's support, right? Dawn at listings to, I'll put in my, yeah, I'll put in this one. Wrong, I hit something wrong there. Okay, and I'm going to check these boxes, and this is kind of important. Send leads to, or send tools to. Now sometimes you might have a CRM that you just want to send leads to. You have an email address and you can just click send leads to. Or you might have, in this case, an assistant like me that you want all your tools to go to, so that the assistant will take care of those tools and do what needs to be done. Then you could just turn this off and just send the tools to. But for this call, I'm going to set them up both. These things here, I'm not too worried about. I don't want you to kind of go down and use them. If you've got a legal description that needs to be on your marketing tool, sometimes MLSs have certain rules. You could put it there, and it will flow through. Um, the rest of this, select Craigslist template and stuff. You could do it. I think this has no new. These are kind of the only one that I really recommend is if you're using the text IVR technology is this one here. The rest, you can just sort of leave that alone, and we'll talk about Craigslist later. I think we've got this chosen as your background template, and I'm going to just do that just in case. This box here should be checked, and it says send all tools automatically. I'm going to show you those tools directly to the agent. And this one is send all tools directly to the seller. And that is something that I recommend, but we're going to start with tools going directly to the agent so they can learn what they are, how when they come, what the story is, because then the agent can forward them on, and I'll talk to you, show you what that's about later. At the office level, we're setting up a WordPress blog, and all of your listings are going to flow onto that blog, courtesy of the agent, with hyperlinks driving to the agent's website. And I'll show you a little bit on how that works. In YouTube, there's a video right here. If the agent has their own YouTube station, they can click this button to connect it. They can check this box, and it will start sending it up. And then you don't have to do anything. It just goes up to YouTube. Top producer, wise agent connections for CRMs. And then if there are some of our tools have little, join me on Facebook kind of buttons, and you can just put your own stuff there, and there you go. Save it at the bottom. I think I did make one save, especially with my email, so I'm going to do that. So you set up the profile like that, and now, and that's, as you probably may remember, that is not on my little email. That's just like something that you got to do. What's on my email is choose the right lead generation links. So how do we do that? First, up on the top is a page that says lead links. And you see here that we've actually got lead links set up in this account. Where you want to focus is section 1, because it says create direct links to your website. And I need my glasses, but I know that it says KW Sioux Falls. And so we created this as an office, and all agents have these links, but they're pointing to the agent's site. So what should an agent do? They should go to their own website, and this is Don's, and just click on buy, and that brings a consumer to the biggest search, right? And I'm going to copy the link up here. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to swap that out. And what I want you to know is over here to the right, it's checked to include for all. And what that means is that is going to be a default link on every listing of hers, okay? And what we also want to do is we want to create links for these core cities where the bulk of your listings happen. And if I go down here on hers, down here, it's searches we offer, there's Sioux Falls. And you'll notice that this link at the top is a unique Sioux Falls link. So I want to copy that, and I want to replace this link here on the lead links page. And in this case, though, I don't want to check that include for all. You might if like 90% of your properties are sold in Sioux Falls, but let's just imagine that they're not. And right now we're setting it up, so I'm going to do something that's a little bit strange. I'm typing in the word Sioux Falls, and on Sioux Falls, what this does, if I click this button, watch these boxes down here. Everything's going to give me a little flash of green. And what that means is that makes Sioux Falls an option to drop down. And what this means is now, and this is set up in automation, what this is saying is the next time a listing comes in automatically from KWS via ListHub, and it has a word Sioux Falls in the city, give it this link on the side that says Sioux Falls homes for sale, and drive it to this direct Sioux Falls page deep in my website. Because this isn't included for all, it's also going to get search all homes, okay? So I am going to go back on her website, and okay, there are others, but since we're going to kind of keep this quick, I am going to click back on Sioux Falls, and there's another really important kind of link, and I'll show you why this is important, but let's just say in this case, under 200,000. People, when they're looking at homes, they don't think I want to see every home that's worth $1 million or whatever. I want to see homes that are in my price range. And this search appears to be showing me all types of homes. I just want to go single family just for this, okay? And I am, that's good right there. And I'm copying that long, bizarre looking link up there, right? And I'm putting it here in this little space, and I'm going to choose Sioux Falls. And the reason you want to do this is that, let's see, Sioux Falls homes under 200K. What you want to think of is if you're selling a home in Sioux Falls or in Brandon or in T or Harrisburg, what is that price point that you know everybody wants, where homes fly off the shelves, right? Because in some parts of the country, homes, if they're priced under 400 grand, boom, they're gone. You know, they're out of there in days or weeks. Above 400 grand, they sit there for months. Figure out what that number is and put that in here and say anytime there's something in Sioux Falls, show them those homes that are just hot to sell, right? Because it's hot to sell, you want them to click because the whole point is get them to your site, okay? Now, the number one link down here in section 3 is what is your home worth? We do have other more powerful pages, but we're just going to use that default one right now for what is your home worth, and I will show you what the other ones are. So at this point, we've just done a bunch of setup, okay? Now I'm going to go to listings, and on the listings front, Dawn doesn't have listings. For your agents, your listings should start flowing in automatically. We didn't turn that on yet because once they turn on, a bunch of things start flying, a bunch of tools start going. So there is a button, darn it, which is not showing here. So now I gotta like jump out, and that's ridiculous. Oh, that's because I turned off the button. Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, I'm talking to myself. That button means this can now start doing some automated functionality. So, Dawn. I have to get back into where I was. And as I said, the listings will flow in automatically, but now I have a button that says grab active listing. It's right up here on the left, third button. That button is good for agents who don't have listings, okay? Maybe they're going to do an open house for somebody else. Maybe they just want to put a bunch of listings inside their account so that they can market them to get exposure, okay? So grab active listings, it works in conjunction with Trulia. And there is this is a property that's for sale on Trulia right now. The address is 57104. So if I go here, put in that MLS ID that was showing on the page, and I said 57014. Let me make sure that's right. 57104. 571. You see how bad my my memory is. So you click here. Is this my listing? Yes. I'm going to put no. I'm going to just leave it yes for this this part of the dialogue. It says importing listing now. So this home is in Sioux Falls, and you know that I just set up those links to say if a home comes in Sioux Falls, make sure it has search all homes, make sure it has what is your home worth, and make sure it has Sioux Falls homes for sale and Sioux Falls homes under 200 bucks. What it's doing now is pulling in all the data and all the photos, and as soon as it's done, which will take a couple more seconds, it's going to push me to a place, and we'll see it right now. It's pushing me to a place to say, great, here it is, choose your links. And as I just showed you, we already made some rules in the account to say we want to get Sioux Falls homes for sale because this home is in Sioux Falls. We want Sioux Falls homes under 200K. So it's kind of got everything it needs. Just click save, and it's got the links in the right order. I always like what is your home worth at the bottom, and so click save again. Now at this point, it's dropping us right on the virtual tour. And we do that because this is kind of the unusual thing that you got to do. So what do you at Keller Williams have to do with the virtual tour? Click the branded virtual tour button, and I'm going to click on that virtual tour just to show us what it looks like. These are the colors in the background. Now we can change the background colors to red, but I think this goes really well with your logo. It also it goes very well with your current website. So we always like to have things that kind of look, and Dawn, I know this isn't your home. I just found it, and that's kind of what it is. But this is just panning and zooming through this, right? Notice our virtual tour, our branded virtual tour has these links that we're talking about. So what are these links about? Well, when I click on Sioux Falls Homes for Sale, I end up right on your website. If I'm a random consumer, I got about 2 to 3 clicks, and then this website is going to force me to register or go away. That's the whole point of that dialogue I just went through with you. There's also Sioux Falls Homes under 200K, search all homes, and then what is your home worth? And this is an old school squeeze page. We have newer ones that look really cool, but you can see we've got we've got all kinds of stuff here going on that has your branding. It has information here. Let's see here. Give me a second. And what you need to do, and I don't think we have it here, tutorials, take that branded virtual tour, just copy the link up top and put it in KWLS. You will know that that is in my email. So we kind of jumped it there, right? So the first thing we did is we chose the right lead generation links. We put our branded virtual tour on KWLS. What else do we got to do? Well, now let's go back to the listings page. And now you're going to see there's all kinds of buttons. And there are a couple of buttons over here that have green under them and black. And just to point it out, I'm going to check these boxes just to show you. When you check these boxes, it doesn't do anything. It's just a placeholder to remind you that you've done something. Okay? It's kind of a weird thing, but some people feel like, oh, if I check it, something's going to happen. Nothing happens. We did put the virtual tour on KWLS, so I am going to check that just to remind me, like, yeah, I did that, right? So this is the single property website. Click on the red button with the white house. It looks very similar to the virtual tour, but the photos are down below, and all the lead generation links are right up here, and all the description stuff is right there. Okay, so these links go right there. So what do I do with this? Here, I can just click the share buttons down here. Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google, right? Facebook is the #1 website for referral traffic. That means if I share there, is somebody going to click on something and get to me, right? And I can say, hey, here's a great new home, right? Write a quick note. Great new home. Something that's going to get people to pay attention, right? And click on that, right? And then you just click share. This is going to go to my share page on Facebook, and I'll delete it off in a minute. Pinterest is the #2 website for referral traffic. We should add an Instagram button here, but we haven't gotten there yet. Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn, you can share there. Almost no activity happens there. So, meaning you're not going to get leads from that. You might want to do it for listing presentation discussion, but you're not going to get leads there, right? Facebook and Pinterest, you are going to get exposure and you will get click-throughs there. So that is back to my handy email. Share your single property website on Facebook and Pinterest. Okay, so the last thing there is because we did the virtual tour on KWS, get your auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client and call them. So let me have a sip of coffee here, because this is a very different kind of way of marketing, and people they're just not used to this, right? We've been doing this for a long time, and this part of the system has really been driven by our clients, because you'll see in a second that our e-flyers and Facebook ads, they're designed to generate leads. And once you start using them, you start generating leads, and it's like, well, we want to use them more. And so you're going to see that we've expanded this into a way that you've not seen in another company. So just 2 seconds, one sip of coffee. Thank you. eFlyer. So these tools should go out automatically, and you can see right here that there is a date that this actually already went out. That means that this is somewhere in my mail, and I'm not going to access it now because I've got my email open, but this tool also goes out. Okay, and when I click on view, a tool gets emailed automatically to the agent as soon as the listing gets in their account. It has their banner, has the first few images of the house, and it says this home is being marketed. We've started marketing your home in order to generate buyer leads both online and offline. Gives them some cool graphics talking about the web, phone, email, Facebook, Craigslist, and basically it has all these links. And if we had WordPress connected for the office, it would also show WordPress and stuff like that. But there are actual hyperlinks in there so that your clients can start seeing the tools. Then there's you at the bottom, right? Your logo and your contact information. So this gets automatically emailed to you, and at the top, you can't see it here because this is just kind of inside the system, is a link to the single property website, a link to the virtual tour, and a link to the listing landing page. So a lot of the work that the agent needs to do is automatically delivered to them right in this first email. They should forward this to their client. This is not for the agent to get excited. This is for the client, the homeowner, to get excited, okay? And we want them to get excited because after that is a series of flyers and a series of Facebook ads that we want them to help us with. Help us meaning the agent. Notice there's a just listed e-flyer, there's a single property website flyer, a virtual tour flyer. Whenever you set up an open house, there's an open house flyer. If the home goes pending or under contract, there is that kind of flyer. And you can kind of see that they have these big red banners, right? Then of course there's just sold. And the whole point of doing this is that we want to get this flyer not just to the people who call, but we want it to go to the people who know your clients, okay? And this is the just listed flyer. So it's got that big red banner I mentioned, right? That says it's relevant. Let's look at this again. It's just listed. It's open house. It's the price reduced. It's just sold, right? So that's just telling consumers, don't ignore this. There's something important going on, right? Down here are all the lead generation links pointing to your site. Of course, they can call you, which is never going to happen. But what's I think most important is right here. And now I need a second to sneeze. But it says here, dear friends, we've hired Dawn at Keller Williams to sell our home. She's created this in order to market our home. We'd appreciate it if you could forward this to as many people as you can to help us sell our home faster. So this is meant to become a viral email message via the homeowner, right? There's a pre-written message that says, dear friends, we're working with Dawn. So as I mentioned, that kind of message, dear friends, we're working with Dawn, here's our virtual tour. Dear friends, we're having an open house, Dawn's holding it for us. Dear friends, our home is under contract, but Dawn still feels like we need to market this home until it's sold. So what we're doing is every time we're talking about Dawn, right? And that's because if they forward out the email, those emails are going to their friends and family and colleagues. There's also, and in order to show you how it kind of wraps up, like I said, I'm going to click this. I'm going to go back because I was talking when I did it. Oh Lord, really? Sorry. There is a button here that says Edit Enhance, and this just listed status. You can see we can go from under contract. We can even do coming soon if we wanted to. But I'm going to change this to just sold. Okay. And if I change it to just sold, I got all. Now I have a just sold e-flyer, and I have a just sold Facebook ad. So let's look at the just sold Facebook ad. Right. Notice it looks kind of parallel to what we were just looking at on the e-flyer. I'm going to click here. I just got a couple emails, and Oh, where is it? Listings to leads. Sorry, guys. Just sold social media post. Okay. And it's going, Don, forward this message to your seller. And what they're meant to do, the seller is meant to copy this. It's a pre-written message. Copy what is between the red lines and go to Facebook. Okay, so let's go to Facebook real quick. And Lord knows what's on my Facebook because David Bowie died yesterday, and I actually was a little bit heartbroken. So, forgive me if there's some crazy stuff over there. So let's see here. Let's see. But there's that one flyer, right? That's the thing that we posted earlier. We just shared the single property website. So what does a consumer see when they click it? They click on the photo, they click on anything. Boom, right there. Right behind Facebook is a single property website, and right here are links pointing right to Don's website. Okay, so you may not know this, but just so you do know, 71% of adults are on Facebook. So you need to have a really solid way of getting there, right? So this is kind of what we just did. We shared our own single property website, but now I've been jumping around. Let's remember that I have just copied an automated email that was sent from listings to leads to the agent, and I want to paste, and I'm not doing this as the agent. The agent should have sent that to their client and called their client and said, I just sent you a Facebook ad and I just sent you an e-flyer. Could you put that on your wall and could you forward that email out? Why would they want to do that? Here's why. It says, our home just sold and we want to recommend Dawn, and excellent job. Here's her name, here's her phone number, and here's her email address. So this is a pre-written testimonial, auto-generated and sent to the agent for your clients, for your agents. So all they got to do is copy and paste like I did. What happens? Yep, single property website, lead generation. But we're also, what's happening here is, where you're getting your referrals from, right? You're going to get them from your clients, friends and family and colleagues. And most of you in that concept think, I'm going to get a referral by closing some business and leaving a stack of business cards behind. And that's it. This is totally different. We've had clients get referrals before their current home actually sold, because they're actually just going, wow, I've seen your name. I see you're working with a friend of mine over there. Help us, with what we're trying to do. So that's really the gist of my email. It is choose the right lead generation links. Share your single property website on Facebook and Pinterest, Google and Twitter if you don't mind clicking an extra 15 seconds. Put the branded virtual tour in KWS and get those auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client and call them to make sure they used them. Okay. This link down here has to do with advanced Facebook stuff. And since I have one more minute, I'm just going to show you that real quick. And also, now is a good time if you want to ask questions to sort of get out there. But we're going to go on landing pages. And in that email, I told you that the second link is about advanced Facebook stuff. And landing pages in Facebook, and what you should really understand, and I hope you take complete advantage of, is that whole concept of having a website and competing for SEO and having people find your website as an agent is almost a completely defunct conversation. What is very real and happening right now is people are understanding that by using landing pages and getting them in front of consumers, first of all, the landing page has one function: get contact information. You want information? Give me your email. There is nothing about schools. There's just nothing going on in the other, there's not a lot of distraction from a landing page. It's just, here's something, get it back. Now, all these landing pages are used to get in front of your target market, right? Give me a second. So we got FSBO, expired, property valuation, what is your home worth, growing family, empty nesters. So how do we create those? Go right here to this box here and type in the word Sioux Falls, or type in whatever word you want. Just spell it correctly and capitalize it correctly and click save. Once you do that, excuse me, there's going to be a little green message, and it's going to say something like, we have created a series of landing pages for you. Yeah, that changed. It's really tiny now. And click here on Property Valuation Plus, and there's a Sioux Falls landing page. You can click here to edit the background picture, which is in my email. That is the first thing you got to do. But right here, we can just type in, what's your address? And you know what? We got an address up here. We were looking at it. 135. Let's just do that. See if this will pull up. Now I lost my way. And click go. And it should take us, now I hit a wrong address, but notice I got a lead coming up. That address was a commercial property, but basically, I think it is. Let's look at the second page. Yeah, it's not giving me a home value, but you could fill this out and it will give you that home value. Now somewhere, I've been bouncing around here, Don automatically got the lead, right? So this page, if it was an actual address, you could actually say, okay, single family, 3-bedroom. It'll actually pre-populate these numbers. I think it wasn't a real address, and so it's given us a false information here. What will happen is the consumer. Let's see if I can get it to go here. It gets you to this place. We have the valuation, and you can see it's grayed out in the background. The consumer doesn't get the valuation until they put the information in, right? And I'm just going to put in this and see if that works. Great. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, why are you interested? Well, I need to buy. I can sell so I can buy a home. Great. Well, I want to know that, right? Because maybe I can help on both sides. Now, that wasn't a real home and it wasn't a real address, so I didn't get the number. But if it was, I would get this total valuation. And Dawn, at this point, has another lead, right? And she's going to see the exact information I saw, and that's how you begin that dialogue. Yeah, over here is a lead that just popped up, and that's it. And that's really, so that's the landing page section, and that's a whole nother discussion. So if there are no questions right now, I'm going to point us back to the home page and remind you, contact support up here. We have a support team that can help you if you get stuck anywhere. This section here, we'll talk to you about Facebook advertising, open house lead generation. I didn't talk about it, but I'm going to go to listings real quick. Just click on the open house button, put your time, and let's just say it's going to be on Saturday from 1 to 4. Save it, and at that point, I'm going to have all. I just automatically get a ton of. I get one email with a bunch of tools sent to me automatically. Now my single property website and my virtual tour say open house on it, and right here, I don't know if you see it. Do not reply. Open house. Here's my open house flyer, right? Automatically sent to me. Here is my open house social media post. Same thing that we did earlier on, right? So are there any questions now? In reference to what? The open house flyer. Yeah. What if it's not your listing? Yeah, it'll come to you anyway. And that's exactly why we do that. But it will generate leads for you because the side links on the flyer are just like the side links on this. They're pointing to the agent's account that has this account. So a lot of agents without listings will want to hold an open house with the hope of getting leads. And our system generates leads long before the open house ever occurs. Does that make sense? why we have an echo. But do we have any other questions?
Yes.
Sorry, you want to type that in, or can you ask that question again? Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of David Bowie, yeah, that's kind of relevant there.
Yeah. We're kind of enjoying the
Seem
echo.
to stop there.
Yeah, no.
Okay. With the home value leads, do we create the home value or is it an automatic value? Great question. There are a number of tools designed to generate, so wondering, is this his estimate thing? Yeah. You see these buttons that say the word plus? Property valuation plus, plus one, nearby homes sold plus, empty nester plus. If it has the word plus, it has a Zestimate at the back. We also create these without the word plus so that you can use the exact same thing with just an auto response. They get thank you, we'll get back to you. You get the lead. So you can use it either way. There are reasons to use as estimate and there are reasons not to use as estimate. We're really kind of, is there a way to route the leads to their CRM? I think their CRM, oh no, not those leads. Currently you're using Market Leader, which is eEdge, and Market Leader will not allow third-party companies like us to route leads to you. I think it's because they sell leads and they just don't allow companies to do that. If you know of a person there that can, we've been trying for years. They just don't want other lead sources in their system. We send those leads from landing pages as an email. You get those leads that occur on your website. They're inside your system, and that's already Market Leader, so they, you clearly get those leads. I don't know if you're typing, but if there aren't any more questions, I am going to put this up on YouTube. I will send you this link later on in the day. So when we come to South Dakota and train, it's only -2 today. Yeah, yeah. I don't even think I can do that. I don't think I can handle that kind of weather. But it probably thaws out there at some point, and that's maybe a good time for me to come and visit. It's 2 degrees. Okay. So if there aren't any more questions, just a reminder: contact support. Use this box right here in the middle. Okay. There are 4 people that watch this throughout the day, and that's the best way to get answers. On the homepage, open house information shows you how that stuff works. You do have a listing presentation. Dawn, I think I sent that to you. Now would be a good time to share it. Facebook advertising is an important piece. A lot of great information. I will send it to you in case you don't have it, Dawn. And then getting started. This is kind of the thing you do when you're brand new to us. We covered it. It's kind of the profile, setting up links, things like that. So if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to wrap this one up. And Dawn, if you want to schedule another call with me, you know how to do that. But thanks everybody for joining me. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Have a great day. Dawn, I will get this out to you shortly. Thanks a lot.